those in the game. Coach, y'all get a ball.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Cass Baseball on Play On Sports and the GHSA.TV network. We welcome you to today's broadcast of 2013 Cass Baseball presented by Pepsi and the Liberty Tax Service. And today we come to you live from Adairsville High School, where the Colonels have traveled just up Highway 41 to take on the Adairsville Tigers. Glad you could join us. We'll be back with some pregame information right after this.
Come on, kid. I'm Drew Brees.
And I'm Harry.
Who?
From One Direction. Platinum album.
Dudes, won the Super Bowl.
On the cover.
MVP.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
If you give him the Pepsi, you can be in the band.
Really? And live while we're young.
Welcome back, everyone. Today it's the Cass Colonels at the Adairsville Tigers, and what amounts to the final non-region contest of the year for the Colonels as they travel just up the road to take on their county rival, the Adairsville Tigers, here at Tiger Stadium on the campus of Adairsville High School. The Tigers are out on the field taking their round of infield warm-ups before today's game, so we'll tell you a little bit about Coach Eric Bishop's squad. They're 4-4 on the year. They will begin their region play on Monday. They have a home game here against Cartersville. They have wins this year over Maclay, Florida, and Westover out of Albany. To begin the year, they split with Rockmart in a pair of 9-8 games, and they defeated Armurchie. Their losses were to Class 5A Rome. Again, they split with Rockmart, so that's one of their losses. They lost a 2-1 game to Model, and they lost to these Colonels on Tuesday at Cass by a score of 10-0. They have a game scheduled for Friday at Carrollton, and then they do host the Cartersville Hurricanes on Monday as the 5 AAA schedule begins. They were 10-13 a year ago, missed the playoffs the year before. They were 25-5 in 2011. They lost in the second round to an outstanding Blessed Trinity program. The Colonels under Coach Adam Williams are 5-4 on the year. They began Region 7 Quad A play on Tuesday at home when we begin a 3-game series with the Gilmer Bobcats. It will be a home game on Tuesday, an away game on Thursday, and a home game again on Friday as the Region 7 Quad A South Subregion will be playing 3-game series against one another throughout the sub-region schedule. So it's an opening week against the Gilmer Bobcats that begins next Tuesday. The Colonels 5-4 have wins over Armurchie, Sonoraville, Class 6A Langston Hughes, Rockmart, and Adairsville. They have a couple of losses to Woodland from Class 5A. They have a loss to Pepperell and a loss to Class 6A Woodstock. That was an 11-inning game that they lost 7-4 on a walk-off 3-run homer in the bottom of the 11th with 2 outs. So a very good and tight ball game there that the Wolverines were able to pull away. The Colonels come into the 2013 year with 6 straight winning seasons. Their last 2 state playoff appearances were in 2008 and 2007. They lost tiebreakers for playoff spots in 2010 and 2011. They lost a three-way tie for third in a tiebreaker in 2010, and they lost a tiebreaker for the fourth spot in 2011. Their last playoff appearance was in 08. They were 19-9 that year. They lost in the first round to Oconee County. The year before that, they were 21-9 in 2007 and made it to the second round before losing to Dunwoody. They were 14-12 last year, 16-10 in 2011, 20-6 in 2010. And the series between these two, Cass won both games last year, 16-6 in 6 innings, 10-2 in the rematch, and they won the first meeting earlier this week by a 10-0 score in 5 innings. Cass has now won 5 of the last 6 dating back to 2010, and the Colonels have won 11 of the last 15 with Adairsville dating back to 2005. We want to remind you that you can join us on these broadcasts as a potential sponsor. We'd love to have you to join us. And just to give you an idea of how you can do that, we want to show you that here. All you have to do is send me an email at the address that is shown there, or give me a call at the school. And for as little as $25 a month for the remainder of this season, we can put your business and give you recognition as being a Cass baseball sponsor on these telecasts for the remainder of the baseball season. We still have about a dozen telecasts to go, so we would love to have you join us as we present Cass baseball on Play On Sports and the GHSA.TV network. We'll take another timeout, and we'll be back with some more pregame information right after these.
Senor!
Attention, everyone. Our first toast.
No. I am so honored to say a few words about the lovely can. Huh? I mean the couple. She looks so delicious. Lean love. Too many more years.
Do we know her?
No.
Diet Pepsi. Love every sip.
Okay, back at Adairsville High School, we're getting ready for action today between the Colonels, who have traveled up the road just a bit, to take on the Adairsville Tigers in their final non-subregion game of the year. Before we get started, let's take a quick look at the upcoming schedule for the Colonels. They will be, as we mentioned, playing 3-game series this year in their subregion action. They'll take on Gilmer March the 19th, 21st, and 22nd. They do have a non-region game with Calhoun on Monday, March the 25th. And then the following week, it's a 3-game series with Pickens. That is followed by a 3-game series with River Ridge. And then they will wrap up the subregion regular schedule with a 3-game series against the Cedartown Bulldogs. And then the region playoffs will begin after that, where there's crossovers involved with the North subregion. The top 2 teams from each subregion will square off for the region championship, and then the second and third place teams from each half will play one another for those final GHSA state playoff positions. The teams not making those top 3 positions in each subregion will play the other teams from the bottom of the standings to wrap up their regular season, because those games do have to count as part of the 26-game regular season, even though they are considered region playoff games. We also want to take a look quickly at the standings coming into today's action in Region 7 Quad A. You see the South Subregion where the Colonels are included. Pickens with a 4-1 mark. Cedartown at 5-2. Gilmer's at 5-2. The Colonels at 5-4. River Ridge is off to a 1-6 start. And then you see the standings on the north side of the region. Ridgeland, Northwest Whitfield leading the way. Southeast Whitfield and Heritage in the middle of the pack, and Lafayette and Dalton at the bottom of the standings. But, of course, we have not started sub-region games yet, so those standings will change quickly once the teams begin playing each other. It's really kind of difficult to compare the non-region schedules in the early going. So that's just a quick look at where the standings are as we get closer to sub-region play. The coaches are now meeting out at home plate with their pregame exchange of lineup cards, and they're talking about the ground rules. So we'll take a timeout. We'll be back to talk about lineups right after this.
Con los terroristas.
Harlem Shake.
That you adore, and love was made for me and you.
Okay, back at Adairsville High School, the head coaches of each team are still meeting at home plate with the umpiring crew for this game as they still talk about ground rules and exchange lineup cards. Let's look at how the Colonels will line up offensively. Brandon Etheridge will lead it off. He's hitting. He will also be pitching today and hitting first. He's at a .429 batting average on the season. He leads the team with 12 runs scored. Sam Ayers hits second and will play short. He's hitting .407 with 10 RBI. Chaz Wilson in the 3 spot, hitting just over 600 with 15 RBI in the first 9 games. Dylan Williams will be the DH and hit in the cleanup spot. You see his average there now at 300 with 5 RBI on the year. Matt Brown will be playing second base. Dylan Williams will be hitting for the second baseman. Alex Yoslin will be out in left field, hitting .276. He has 3 doubles on the year. Sam Russell, the catcher, hits in the number 6 position with a .250 batting average and 5 RBI. Hunter Southern follows in the 7 spot, playing third base. He scored 5 runs on the year. Austin Gore will be out in right field with an on-base percentage that you see there. And Chris Morton will be in center field. He has scored 7 runs on the year. So that's how the Colonels will line up offensively. Let's take a look at how Adairsville will line up defensively.
Number 10, DH, Dylan Williams.
They're introducing the Colonels as they come out on the field. In the outfield for Adairsville, from left field to right, they'll go Dylan Cochran, that is Tyler Washington, and Hunter Smith over in right field. Then from third to first, Neil Knight, Tristan Smith at short, Kyle Adams at second. Casey McCrory will play first base. Zach Sherwood will be the catcher, and Cody Melton will be doing the pitching today for Coach Eric Bishop's Adairsville Tigers. The Colonels' defensive alignment will look like this. Alex Yoslin will be out in left. Chris Morton in center since Etheridge is pitching today. Austin Gore will be in right field. Hunter Southern gets another start at third base. Sam Ayers will be at short. Matt Brown playing second. Chaz Wilson will man first base. Sam Russell will do the catching. And Brandon Etheridge will get the start on the bump today for Coach Adam Williams, Cass Colonels. We're going to take another timeout, and we'll be back with the beginning of today's game in just a moment.
Playing first base, number 12, Casey McCrory. Batting ninth, third base.
Come on, kid. I'm Drew Brees.
And I'm Harry.
Who?
From One Direction. Platinum album.
Dudes, won the Super Bowl.
On the cover.
MVP.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
If you give him the Pepsi, you can be in the band.
Really? And live while we're young.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Bartow County School Board, Principal Mr. Bruce Mulkey and Athletic Director Meredith Barnhill, we welcome you to the campus of Adairsville High School. Now let's play ball.
Okay, we're back at Adairsville High School, getting ready for today's matchup between the Colonels and the Adairsville Tigers. And Melton out there taking his warm-up tosses for the Tigers. And we're just about ready for some action. The Colonels and the Tigers getting set to go from here in Adairsville. Cass Baseball presented by Pepsi. All right, looks like Melton's taking his final toss or two, and in just a moment, Zach Sherwood will toss down to second, and we'll be underway. There's the long throw. And we're just about ready for action. Brandon Etheridge, who is doing the pitching today,
Leading off for the Colonels, number
will
6, Brandon Etheridge.
lead it off. First pitch is in there for a strike. And we are underway. Melton's next pitch, it's a breaking pitch that missed high. So the count is now even at 1-1. Etheridge takes that one high as well. He enters this game with a .429 batting average. He is 12 for 28 on the season. And the next pitch is wide as well, so the count goes to 3-1 to the Colonels' leadoff hitter. Sam Ayers, the shortstop, waits on deck. Chaz Wilson will follow. Next pitch to Etheridge is hit in the air out towards center field. Tyler Washington is there to make the catch, and there's one away.
Up next for the Colonels, number 5, Sam Ayers.
So that brings up Sam Ayers. He's hitting at a 407 mark with 10 RBI on the year. Also one of the leaders for the Colonels in runs scored. First pitch is right through there for a strike. Next pitch from Melton. Breaking ball that Ayers swung at and missed. And the count is 0-2. And there's a fastball wasted high. So Ayers, as we mentioned, one of the leaders in runs scored. He has scored 10 runs on the year. He's just behind Etheridge in that category. Curveball up around the letters. He hits it on the ground out towards second. Kyle Adams bobbled it, but then throws on to Casey McCrory for the second out.
Up next for the Colonels, number 11, Chad Wilson.
So Chaz Wilson steps in. Wilson hitting at a 607 clip in the early going. 17 for 28. 4 doubles, a triple, a home run, and 15 RBI. And he sees a fastball over the inside corner for a called strike one. So 2 quick outs, and now the 3-hitter Wilson steps in for the Colonels. Changeup. Through there for strike number 2. So Cody Melton has quickly gone up 0-2 on the count to the Cass first baseman. There's a fastball hit on a line, but right at the second baseman, Kyle Adams. And that'll be the 3rd out of the inning. So a line drive out to the second baseman will bring the top of the first to a close. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left. Adairsville coming to the plate. Okay, the Colonels failed to score in their half of the first inning, so Adairsville will now hit in the bottom half of the first. The Colonels send Brandon Etheridge to the mound today to face the Tigers. Etheridge has pitched 8 2/3 innings so far this year. He's made 3 appearances. He does have an 0-2 record on the season. He's given up 9 hits, 11 runs, 6 of them earned, walked 10, struck out 9 with an ERA of 4.85 in those 3 appearances. So Kyle Adams will lead it off for the Tigers against Brandon Etheridge. And the first pitch misses for a ball. Next pitch, still up a bit, but Adams swung on and missed. And the count is now even at 1-1. Another fastball from Etheridge, fouled away at the plate. So the junior right-hander is up on the count 1-2, facing the Tigers' second baseman. And there's a ground ball hit out there and right through Chaz Wilson. It's going to go all the way to the right fielder. So the Colonels start the game with an error down at first base by Wilson.
Up next for the Tigers, number 6, Tyler Washington.
So the next batter is Washington. I don't have a clue. Washington steps in with a runner down at second. And the count has gone to 2-0. And that one bounced up there. And that will allow the runner to move up. So Adams moves up to third on the pitch that bounced up there. And Washington will step in now with a runner at third. Tigers threatening to go on top here. That one missed inside. Ball 4 in the Adairsville has something going here. The first two batters on and runners on the corners. So pitching coach Kyle Clayton will make his way out to have a word with his pitcher, Brandon Etheridge. That'll bring up Zach Sherwood, the Tigers catcher. Tristan Smith waits on deck. So the conference with Etheridge has concluded. Coach Kyle Clayton makes his way back to the Colonel's dugout. Sam Russell gives the infield their instructions with runners at first and third, and now Sherwood will step in there. So the Tigers with a little something brewing here in their half of the first inning. First pitch is high for a ball. Etheridge working from the stretch. Throws a fastball right through there. About knee-high over the outside edge. Throw over to first to check on Washington, but he's back in there. Kyle Adams reached on an error. Tyler Washington reached on a walk. Called strike. So the count's 1-2 now with runners on the corners and nobody out. To the Tigers' number 3 hitter who just swung and missed at a fastball for strike number 3 and the first out.
For the Tigers, number 7, Tristan Smith.
So that brings up Tristan Smith, the junior shortstop, with 1 out. Curveball popped in the air over here behind Sam Russell, and he can't get there. So it falls harmlessly as a foul ball. And strike number 1. Dylan Cochran, the left fielder for the Tigers today, waits on deck. He was the starting pitcher in Tuesday's matchup. Etheridge fakes to third, then looks back the runner at first. Nothing's going on, so he'll re-toe the rubber, come set, and throw a fastball that's fouled off to the screen. So now an 0-2 count to Tristan Smith. who bats with 1 out, and runners on the corners for the Tigers here in the bottom of the first. And it's a curveball high. So the count goes to 1-2. Next pitch is also high. So we have a 2-2 pitch upcoming to the Tigers shortstop. And he swung and missed. Throw down to second on the steal attempt. And he's going to make it in there safely. The throw was up the second base side. Sam Ayers dove and stopped it from getting into center field, saved a run there. But the runner was able to make it to second on the strikeout. But there are 2 outs in the inning. Washington moves up to second on the stolen base. Adams held at third, and now Dylan Cochran steps in with 2 outs. And the first fastball from Etheridge sailed high. Next pitch is right through there, knee-high over the outside corner for a called strike. Another one right in the same spot for strike number 2. And the 1-2 pitch from Etheridge missed just inside. So the count is now even at 2-2 to Dylan Cochran. And that one's popped up in the air. It's going to be out of play over the Adairsville dugout. Sam Russell and Chaz Wilson chase it over to the screen, but it's well out of play. So the runners will reset. And we'll try again with the 2-2 offering. Cody Melton, who's the pitcher today for the Tigers, waits on deck. Curveball trickled foul just out of the home plate circle. So again, we'll try again. Two pitch from Etheridge is hit into right field for a single. Gore fields it out there. He'll throw toward home. It's going to be cut off, and 2 runs will score. So that's a line drive single into right field, and it plates 2 runs, and Adairsville is quickly on top.
Now batting for the Tigers, number 13, Cody Melton.
So Dylan Cochran delivers a 2-out hit to right field. It plates 2 runs, and Adairsville has taken a 2-0 lead. First pitch to Melton is a called strike at the belt. Runner takes off on the next pitch. It missed low for a ball, and then the throw hit the runner and kind of deflected out into short left field, but it's chased down there, and it'll be a stolen base for Cochran. So Adairsville has scored a couple of unearned runs here. There was an error in the inning to get things started for the Tigers, and there's a fastball strike. It was an error and a walk that resulted in the 2 base runners, a couple of strikeouts, and then a line drive single into right field that drove in the 2 Adairsville runs. Melton, the number 6 hitter in the order, stands in there with a runner down at second. And there's a fastball swung on and missed, and that will be out number 3. But the Tigers scored 2 runs. They had 1 hit. There was 1 error in the inning, and Adairsville has taken a 2-0 lead after 1 inning of play.
Attention, everyone. Our first toast.
No. I am so honored to say a few words about the lovely can. Huh? I mean the couple. You look so delicious. Lean love. Too many more years.
Do we know her?
No.
Diet Pepsi. Love every sip.
Back at Adairsville High School, Cody Melton on the mound for the Tigers. He's been spotted a 2-run lead as we move to the top half of the second inning. The Colonels will send Dylan Williams, Alex Yoslin, and Sam Russell to the plate. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Colonels here in the top half of the second. So Dylan Williams steps in, 6 for 20 on the season. That's an even .300 batting average. He has 5 RBI. First pitch to Williams is fouled straight back over the screen. Glad you could join us today for Cass Baseball, presented by Pepsi and Liberty Tax Service, also one of our sponsors today. Next pitch to Williams is a strike called at the knees. So the designated hitter today for the Colonels steps back in there, down 0-2 in the count. And the offering from Melton misses outside. So a 1-2 pitch coming to Dylan Williams. And he swings and misses what appeared to be a knuckle curve or something along those lines for strike number 3.
Up next for the Colonels, number 12, Alex Yoslin.
Alex Yoslin, the left fielder, steps in. Yoslin with 8 hits on the year, and 3 of them have been doubles. First pitch is a breaking pitch that catches the inside corner for called strike 1. Next pitch to Melton. From Melton to Yoslin. Missed high. They checked to see if he had swung, and they said no down at first. Next breaking pitch is hit on the ground out toward third, and it is dropped by the third baseman, Neil Knight. So the Colonels get a base runner on an error.
Up next for the Colonels, number 9, Sam Russell.
So Yoslin reaches on the ground ball error, and the Cass catcher, Sam Russell, will step in there, hitting .250 on the year. Yoslin takes his lead down at first, and the first pitch to Russell missed low and away. Breaking pitch is low again. So 2 balls and no strikes now to the Colonels' signal caller. Yoslin was running on the pitch, but it's fouled off by Russell. And our count is now at 2-1 as everyone returns to their base, and Adairsville catcher Zach Sherwood retrieves the foul ball. Cody Melton working from the stretch. Breaking pitch again is a ball. So the count has now gone to 3-1. And we'll see how the Colonels play it here. throw over to first. Adairsville's curious how they'll play it as well as they check on Yoslin to see if he might be off and running on first move. Next pitch is hit on the ground out to first, fielded there by the first baseman McCrory. He'll step on the bag and retire Russell, and Yoslin will move down to second base.
Up next for the Colonels, number 2, Hunter Southern.
So Sam Russell is retired on the 3 unassisted putout. Alex Yoslin advances to second base, and now Hunter Southern, the third baseman, will step in there with 2 outs. First pitch to Southern misses high. So Melton comes set, and his fastball sails very high that time, and the count has gone to 2-0 to the Colonel's third baseman. Catcher Sherwood wants to talk with his pitcher, so he steps out to the mound for just a moment. So a 2-0 pitch upcoming to Hunter Southern. And it's called a high strike. So Melton looks in for his sign. And the next pitch is low and away. So Yoslin is taking his lead down at second base. Hunter Southern steps back in with the count now at 3-1. 2 outs in the inning. And there is ball 4. So that will bring Austin Gore to the plate.
Colonels, number 4, Austin Gore.
Gore playing right field today. So Yoslin's at second, Southern's at first. 2 outs in the inning as Austin Gore steps in there and takes a pitch low for a ball. And now it looks like Adairsville's coaching staff wants to have a chat with their pitcher, Cody Melton. So while we have a moment, we want to share with you how you can follow the Colonels on social media. We're on Facebook at Cass High School Baseball. You can follow the Colonels on Twitter at Cass Baseball. And there's also a CassBaseball.net website that you can check out all the details about Colonel events. So lots of ways to follow the Colonels on social media. Next pitch is right through there for a called strike. So the count is even at 1-1 as the Cass senior steps back in there. Ball high. So a 2-1 pitch upcoming from Cody Melton. And it's hit up in the air. Center fielder Washington making his way in. He's underneath it, makes the catch, and that will be out number 3. So the Colonels leave a couple of runners. There was an error in the inning and a walk. We've now played 1.5 from Tigers Stadium on the campus of Adairsville High School, with Adairsville leading the Colonels by a score of 2-0. All right. Hunter Smith, Casey McCrory, and Dakota Hines will come to the plate to face Brandon Etheridge here in the bottom of the second.
Tigers, number 9, Hunter Smith.
Hunter Smith, the right fielder, Casey McCrory, the first baseman, and Dakota Hines in the 9th spot as the designated hitter today. First pitch is low. So it's 2-0 Tigers as they hit in their half of the second. That one's fouled away. Curveball from Etheridge. Missed high. And there's a fastball right through there. So a 2-2 pitch upcoming is fouled off at the plate. Another fastball that missed just off the edge. Etheridge with 3 strikeouts and a walk thus far. He's given up 1 hit. Colonels have made an error behind him. The next pitch is fouled away over the screen. So another 3-2 pitch is fouled away. So a good at bat here by Smith. He's looking at the 9th pitch of this at bat. And it's a fastball strike at the knees for strike number 3. So Etheridge picks up his 4th strikeout in 2 innings. And that will bring up Casey McCrory, the first baseman. And he hits a fly ball out toward right field, but it's twisting foul. So a long strike into the right field corner. First pitch swinging. So McCrory steps back in there to face Brandon Etheridge, and he hits a line drive towards center field this time. Chris Morton is there, and there is out number 2.
Now batting for the Tigers, number 14, Dakota Hines.
So now the designated hitter, Dakota Hines, will step in there with 2 outs in the inning. The first one missed inside. Hines had to shuffle out of the way. And the second pitch is fouled back over the screen at home plate. One pitch to Dakota. His curveball and a nice one for a strike. Good breaking pitch there. And a high fastball is fouled away. So they'll deliver some baseballs to our home plate umpire. We've had several foul balls in this half inning. And we're ready for the 1-2 pitch. And it's a curveball that was swung on and missed, and it bounced off the equipment of the cast catcher, Sam Russell. And Hines is going to reach on a strikeout that was not fielded cleanly at the plate. So it is a strikeout for Etheridge, but the runner will reach. And now he's going to take off towards second as that one bounces off the gear. Another one in the dirt that was blocked by Russell, but he can't keep it directly in front of him, and the runner's able to move up. So Adairsville now with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. And he bounces another one up there. Blocked again by Russell, almost all the way back out to the mound. So Chaz Wilson, the first baseman, steps in there to have a word with the junior pitcher. And Kyle Adams, the senior second baseman, steps back in. And the 2-0 pitch from Etheridge is hit high in the air out towards center field. Ayers and Morton are there. Morton's underneath it, and he fields it for out number 3. So Adairsville fails to score. They leave a runner. No runs, no hits, no errors in the inning. We've now completed 2 innings from Adairsville High School, and the Tigers lead the Colonels 2-0.
Con los terroristas.
Harlem Shake.
Back at Adairsville High School, where the Tigers lead the Colonels 2-0 as we move to the top half of the 3rd inning. Cass will send their number 9 hitter, Chris Morton, to the plate. And then we'll roll to the top of the order with Brandon Etheridge and Sam Ayers. First pitch to Morton is hit in the air out towards center field. Tyler Washington's there, and the first pitch results in an out.
Now batting for the Colonels, number 6, Brandon Etheridge.
So Cody Melton works his way the first time through the Colonel batting order with no damage done, and Brandon Etheridge, the leadoff hitter, steps in there and sees a curveball for a strike. Another breaking pitch down low. Etheridge flied out to center his first time. Looks at a ball low. And it's a strike call on the outside edge. So a 2-2 pitch from Melton upcoming. It's a breaking pitch that Etheridge hit on the ground, fielded out there by McCrory. He steps on the bag, and there are now 2 outs.
Now batting for the Colonels, number 5, Sam Ayers.
So Sam Ayers steps in. He grounded out to second the first time up. Two outs in the inning now. And a breaking pitch from Melton is low for a ball. Fastball high. So a 2-0 count now to the Colonels shortstop. Breaking pitch caught the inside edge. And another breaking ball that's low and away. So Melton relying primarily on off-speed and breaking pitches. But that's a fastball that missed low and away, and Sam Ayers draws a walk. And that will bring up Colonel's first baseman, Chaz Wilson.
For the Colonels, number 11, Chad Wilson.
Wilson lined out to second his first time up. And they just picked off Sam Ayers down at first. So that's going to end the Colonels' half of the third inning as Sam Ayers was picked off down there at first. So the Colonels failed to score in their half of the third inning, and will go to the bottom of the third with Adairsville leading this one 2-0.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore. And love was made for me and you.
Brandon Etheridge returns to the mound for the bottom half of the third inning. Tossed down to second by catcher Sam Russell. Colonels flip it around the infield. And Tyler Washington, the center fielder for the Tigers, will step in there. We are directly underneath the PA speaker here at Adairsville, and it is very loud where we're seated. First pitch is a called strike at the knees. Sherwood, the catcher, waits on deck. The first pitch is a ball. I'm sorry. The second pitch is a ball. That's now 2-1. So Brandon Etheridge, working here in the bottom of the third, has fallen behind 3-1 to the Tigers' center fielder, Tyler Washington. He walked his first time up there. fouls that one off, and the count is now full at 3-2. Next pitch is fouled away. And the 3-2 pitch missed high and away, and he walked him again, so that's twice. Tyler Washington has drawn a walk.
Tigers, number 8, Zach Sherwood.
Catcher Zach Sherwood steps in there. And Etheridge's first pitch misses low for a ball. Throw over to check on Washington. He's back easily. The next pitch is hit in the air out toward left. Yoslin is there for the catch. And Sherwood is retired.
Number 7, Tristan Smith.
So one out in the inning, and the shortstop Tristan Smith will step in there. With Tyler Washington still down at first. Pitch is high. And that one is also high. Etheridge stretches, comes set, and delivers a fastball strike. So the count is now at 2-1, one out in the inning. And another one is hit in the air, this time out toward right, and Gore is turned about 3 ways, and it's going to fall behind him. So he misjudged it, and it's going to fall in for a double.
Now batting for the Tigers, number 32, Dylan Cochran.
So Dylan Cochran's going to step in there with now 2 runners in scoring position at second and third. Still one out in the inning. And the Colonels will bring the infield in. Cochran lined one into right field his first time up that drove in the Tigers 2 runs. He bunts that time and bunts it foul. So now an 0-1 pitch upcoming to the left fielder, and it's a fastball that missed high. So the Tigers threaten again here in their half of the third, already leading 2-0, and that was a fastball that missed outside. The 2-1 pitch is hit in the air towards center. Chris Morton is there. We'll see if it's deep enough to score the run. He makes the catch and fires toward the plate, and the runner is able to tag and score. So the sacrifice fly will score Washington. Smith was able to move up to third, and the Tigers are now up 3-0. 2 outs in the inning now, and a runner at third as the pitcher, Cody Melton, steps in, and Etheridge delivers a fastball at the knees. Next pitch is fouled away. So Etheridge, facing his pitching counterpart here, is ahead 0-2. And he got him swinging. So Adairsville comes up with a run on one hit. They did leave a runner in the inning. They score on the sacrifice fly. And Adairsville, after 3 innings of play, leads the Colonels by a score of 3-0.
We can get a player up here.
Ah, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Okay, we're back at Adairsville High School, where Adairsville leads the Colonels 3-0 as we move to the 4th inning. So Cass shut out Adairsville on Tuesday, and now the Tigers are returning the favor through 3 innings here today up in Adairsville. Cody Melton so far has not yielded a hit, has struck out 1, walked 2, and this half inning for the Colonels,
number 11,
Chaz Wilson will lead it off, followed by Dylan Williams and Alex Yoslin. So the first pitch to Wilson misses low. Wilson lined out to second his first time. And a changeup catches the plate. But that one was low. 2-1 count now to the Colonels' senior first baseman. Breaking pitch is in there for a strike. So a 2-2 pitch upcoming to Wilson. Melton takes his sign. And Wilson hit it on the ground out to short. Fielded there by Smith. And he throws across to McCrory for out number 1.
Up next for the Colonels, number 10, Dylan Williams.
So that brings up the DH, Dylan Williams. He struck out swinging his first time. As the Colonels continue to look for their first hit off Cody Melton. Another breaking pitch fouled away at the plate. That one's hit on the ground, out to Smith at short. He bobbles it, flips it out in front of himself, and can't recover in time, and Williams will reach on another error. So a sharp ground ball, but Tristan Smith can't handle it.
Up next for the Colonels, number 12,
and Williams will reach.
Yoslin.
That brings up Alex Yoslin, the left fielder. Yoslin reached on an error, a ball he hit out to third his first time. Breaking pitch misses wide. So the Tigers have committed a couple of errors here, but the Colonels still hitless. Williams takes his lead and dives back in there as they throw over to first. Melton's already picked off one base runner. He picked off Sam Ayers back in the third. Another breaking pitch, low and away. Yoslin steps back in. They throw over to first again. Williams back in there. Melton sets and delivers a fastball that's low and away. It's okay. We're okay. And the next pitch is a fastball for a strike. And another throw over to first again to check on Williams, and he dives back in there. So one out in the inning, and we have a 3-1 pitch upcoming to Alex Yoslin. And he hits it foul over first base, out of play. Melton looks in and takes his sign from his catcher, Zach Sherwood. And another breaking pitch. Little flare hit out in towards center field, and it is caught there by the center fielder, Tyler Washington, on a diving catch.
Up next for the Tigers, number 9, Sam Russell.
So now 2 outs in the inning, and it's up to the catcher, Sam Russell. Throw over to chase back Williams again. And another one. And a third time. And finally a pitch to the plate, and it missed low for a ball. So Dylan Williams, who reached on an error, takes his lead at first. Breaking pitch hit Sam Russell in the left shoulder. So we'll get a courtesy runner now for the catcher, and that will be Caleb Black.
Up next for the Colonels, number 2, Hunter Southern.
Third baseman Hunter Southern will step in. So our umpire getting the courtesy runner logged in there. Dylan Williams down at second. Caleb Black, the courtesy runner for Sam Russell, takes his lead at first. And Hunter Southern sees a fastball that missed low. Next pitch from Melton is called a strike at the letters. And there's a line drive out into right field. We'll see if Dylan Williams is going to be able to score. They're going to wave him, and there's going to be a play at the plate, and he's in there safely as the ball gets away from the catcher, Sherwood. So it's a line drive RBI single for Hunter Southern, and the Colonels are on the board with their first hit. So Williams would have probably been out if Sherwood could have held on, but the ball got away from him. And the Colonels are on the board. Black moved up to third on the last play, and Southern moves up to second on the throw to the plate. So it's now 3-1 with Austin Gore stepping in and 2 runners in scoring position. And the first pitch to Gore misses low. Next one is called a strike. So 2 outs in the inning and a 1-1 count to the Colonels' right fielder. So breaking pitch that's in there for a strike. So Cody Melton working now from the windup with 2 outs and runners at second and third. And he struck out Austin Gore. But the Colonels manage a run on a hit. There was an error in the inning. They leave 2. We've played 3.5 innings from Adairsville High School, and Adairsville leads Cass 3-1.
Come on, kid. I'm Drew Brees.
And I'm Harry.
Who?
From One Direction. Platinum album.
Dudes, won the Super Bowl.
On the cover.
MVP.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
If you give him the Pepsi, you can be in the band.
Really?
Never, never, never stop for anyone. Tonight, let's get some.
And live while we're young.
Back at Adairsville High School, Brandon Etheridge out on the mound. The Colonels did pick up a run there to cut the Adairsville lead to 3-1 as the Tigers will come to the plate for their half of the 4th inning. Final warm-up toss from Etheridge. And the right fielder, Hunter Smith, will step to the plate for the Tigers. 3 runs on just 2 hits, 2 errors by the Tigers. Cass with 1 run on 1 hit. They committed an error. The first pitch is in there for a strike. And that one missed outside. So the 7, 8, and 9 hitters up this inning for the Tigers as they bat in their half of the 4th. Good curveball from Etheridge is in there for a strike. And the junior right-hander throws another curveball that had Smith looking for a called strike 3.
Up next for the Tigers, number 12, Casey McCrory.
Casey McCrory, the first baseman, will step in. Etheridge with his 7th strikeout in this one. McCrory flied out to center field his first time up. Looks at a ball. Followed by a fastball about belt high over the outside corner. And another one hit in the air out toward the right fielder, Gore, and he's under it for the second out.
Up next for the Tigers, number 14, Dakota Hines.
So 2 outs, and the number 9 hitter, the designated hitter, Dakota Hines, steps in. And a curveball's in there for a strike. Hines struck out his first time, but then reached on the drop third strike. That one's popped up, and the Cass third baseman Hunter Southern has it for out number 3. So the Tigers go quickly in their half of the 4th, and the Colonels will come in to hit when we return to the top of the 5th inning, trailing the Adairsville Tigers 3-1. Okay, Chris Morton will lead off the top of the 5th for the Colonels. They trail it here 3-1. And the first pitch hits Morton in the ribs. Another breaking pitch from Melton, who has relied almost exclusively on the breaking ball.
Up next for the Colonels, number 6, Brandon Etheridge.
So that's the second hit batsman to go with 2 walks for the Colonels. They only have 1 hit. And the top of the order is up now. And Etheridge hits a little looping line drive out into center field, in for a hit. So 2 pitches and 2 base runners for the Colonels as they hit here in the 5th.
Now batting for the Colonels, number 5, Sam Ayers.
So Sam Ayers, the shortstop, will step in. Nobody out in the inning and 2 base runners on just 2 pitches. A hit batsman and a single into center field. Morton leads from second. Etheridge leads from first. Ayers squares but takes it for a ball. So we'll see how they play it here. On the 1-0 pitch, Melton fires, and Sam Ayers with the sacrifice bunt moves up the 2 base runners. So a good bunt.
Up next for the Colonels, number 11, Chad Wilson.
So runners at second and third now for Chaz Wilson. And he gets a fastball right at the knees for a called strike. And the next one is low. And the count goes even at 1-1. Melton working from the windup. There's a breaking pitch, a check swing, and it's going to be a single into right field for Wilson. And they're going to hold up Etheridge. Wilson tried to check his swing. It hit the barrel of the bat and sailed cleanly into right field.
Now batting for the Colonels, number 10, Dylan Williams.
So the result is good. It ends up an RBI single. And now with runners at the corners, Dylan Williams steps in there with one out. And Cass has cut the lead to 3-2. They throw over to check on Wilson. And a breaking pitch, missed low in the dirt. And the Tigers take a timeout. They're going to get their infield together here and talk about how they want to play this with runners on the corners. Again, we want to invite you to join us for these telecasts. Your business can place an ad here on each of these games for as little as $25 a month. We'd love to talk with you. Just call us at the school. Ask for me, Charles Wilson, and we'll be glad to get your ad integrated into these broadcasts. Williams steps back in there and takes a pitch high for a ball, and Wilson takes second base. So it was a bit of a delayed steal. They were going to see if they could draw a throw. But Wilson's in there safely at second base, and now two runners in scoring position for Williams. And the next pitch is another breaking pitch that catches the inside corner for strike number one. So a 2-1 pitch now upcoming to the Colonel's senior designated hitter today. It's a breaking pitch he swung on and missed. Alex Yoslin, the left fielder, waits on deck. So Melton looks in, and he struck him out. So now two are out in the inning, and Alex Yoslin will step in. So if the Colonels are going to do any more damage here in the fifth, it'll have to be with two outs. And the first pitch is hit right back through the middle. The shortstop fields it, throws across to first, and the Tigers are out of the inning. But the Colonels come up with another run. They did it on 2 hits. They did leave 2. We've now played 4.5. We'll go to the bottom of the fifth with Adairsville leading Cass 3-2.
Senor.
Attention, everyone. Our first toast.
No. I am so honored to say a few words about the lovely can. Huh? I mean the couple. You look so delicious. In love. Too many more years.
Do we know her?
No.
Diet Pepsi. Love every sip.
Back at Adairsville High School, where the Adairsville Tigers lead the Cass Colonels by a score of 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the fifth, the Adairsville half of the fifth. Brandon Etheridge still on the mound for the Colonels. Takes his final warm-up toss. Long throw down to second by Sam Russell. And we're just about ready for the bottom of the fifth. Adairsville will send the top of the order to the plate. Kyle Adams, followed by Tyler Washington and Zach Sherwood. First pitch missed for a ball. Our next broadcast will be next Tuesday as the Colonels begin play in Region 7 Quad A South, hosting Gilmer. That will be a 5:55 first pitch. Pregame will start at 5:40. foul ball, and we're even at 1-1 on the count. And a curveball is again fouled off, this time up the first base side. So the count's at 1-2 to the Tigers' leadoff hitting second baseman. And he swung and missed a curveball. It bounced out in front of the plate. Long throw, and they got him by half a step. So it's another strikeout for Etheridge that Russell was able to field and throw out the runner.
Now batting for the Tigers, number 6, Tyler Washington.
And there's one out in the inning. Tyler Washington steps in there, and the first pitch is a ball. Washington has walked both times, fouled that one off. Etheridge has given up a couple of hits, 2 walks. He has 8 strikeouts as he pitches here in the bottom of the 5th. Colonel's trailing 3-2. And there's a strike at the knees. And the next one is lined right back through the middle for a base hit.
Up next for the Tigers, number 8.
Zach Sherwood will step in there, the Tigers catcher. So Tyler Washington has reached all 3 times. 2 walks and a single off Brandon Etheridge. 1 out in the inning as the Tigers catcher steps in there. The curveball sails over his head. Sherwood flied out to left field his last time up. He struck out swinging in his first appearance. That one's hit on the ground out towards second, fielded there by Brown. Throws to first, on to first, and they get the out at second. Throw on to first, and it's a bang-bang play, but Sherwood beat it. So Brown flips to Ayers for the first out down at second.
Now batting for the Tigers, number 7, Tristan Smith.
But they're unable to get Sherwood at first. It was close there, but Sherwood beat it, and that will bring up the shortstop, Tristan Smith. 2 outs in the inning. Throw over to first. Smith struck out and doubled in his first 2 appearances at the plate. Runner takes off on the pitch, and the ball is hit deep into the left field corner, but foul. So it's a long and loud strike, and the runner will have to return to first. So everyone's back in their place, and Smith will step back in there to face Brandon Etheridge. He comes set and throws a curveball that's fouled away over the first base dugout side. So we'll see an 0-2 pitch to the Tigers shortstop. And it's a curveball that's hit back out toward Etheridge. He fields it, flips to Wilson at first for out number 3. So the Tigers failed to score in their half of the 5th. They did pick up a hit And we'll go to the 6th inning now with Adairsville leading Cass by a score of 3-2. New pitcher for the Tigers will be Hunter Smith. He moves in from right field to take over the pitching duties for the Tigers. He will face the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for the Colonels, Sam Russell, Hunter Southern, and Austin Gore. Cass trailing Adairsville 3-2 as they are down to their final 6 outs here. So Sam Russell will step in there.
Leading off for the Colonels, number 9, Sam Russell.
Russell grounded out to first in his first at bat and then was hit by a pitch. And the first pitch from Hunter Smith is high for a ball. High leg kick by Hunter Smith, and that one's called a strike at the knees. There's a fastball again at the knees, but it's fouled away. And the count is at 1-2 to the Colonel's catcher. Southern on deck. And Gore will hit third in the inning. Breaking pitch that bounced up there for a ball. So a 2-2 pitch upcoming to Sam Russell. And he hit it on the ground foul over near the Colonel's dugout. And the 2-2 pitch is also fouled off again. So Hunter Smith is in there in relief of starter Cody Melton, who kept the Colonels in check to 2 runs through 5 innings. Russell fouls off another one at the plate. So he has an 8-pitch at bat working here. And that one missed low, so it'll be at least 9 pitches. The count has gone full. That one's low as well, so a great at bat there by the catcher Sam Russell. Works him for a walk, and we're going to get a courtesy runner now for the Cass catcher.
Now batting for the Colonels, number 2, Hunter Southern.
And that again will be Caleb Black. So the Cass third baseman, Hunter Southern, will step in with nobody out, and now a runner at first after a good at-bat by Russell. Fouled off several pitches before working the walk. Fastball from Smith is right in there. So Hunter Smith throws over to first to chase back Caleb Black, who's in there as a courtesy runner for Sam Russell. I was about to say Smith works exclusively from the stretch. Next pitch is popped up in the air down the right field line. Everybody's over there, and the right fielder makes a nice diving catch. So that's a really good catch by Dylan Cochran, who has moved over to right field.
Number 4, Austin Gore.
So 1 out in the inning as Gore steps in. Looks at a fastball at the knees. Chris Morton, the number 9 hitter, waits on deck. And that one gets away from the catcher, and Black will cruise into second. So I'm not sure if Sherwood was crossed up there or not. The ball sailed up and in on Gore and off the glove of Sherwood back here to the screen, and Caleb Black makes it into second base for the Colonels. Gore steps back in there to look at a 1-1 pitch. Runner now in scoring position, and that's a big run. And he throws a breaking pitch that Gore swung on and missed. So the Colonels with a runner in scoring position, down by a run as they bat here in the top of the 6th. We're at Adairsville High School, where the Tigers lead it 3-2. And that one missed inside for a ball to even the count at 2-2. So Smith looks in for his sign. And he fires one low for ball 3. So a full count pitch due to the Colonel right fielder. And it missed up and in for ball 4. So that brings up the sophomore center fielder.
Up next for the Colonels, number 1,
Chris Morton. And then if he could reach, the top of the order would be up. So Morton steps in there. 1 out in the inning. And that one sailed high for a ball. Caleb Black down at second base. He's the runner for Sam Russell. Austin Gore takes his lead at first. He just walked. Next pitch to Morton is a strike at the letters. So Smith looks in on a 1-1 pitch as he comes set. Is low for ball 2. So the junior Hunter Smith, working from the stretch, steps back off the rubber. He wants to talk with his catcher, Zach Sherwood, and now Coach Eric Bishop is going to make his way out to the mound as well. So Coach Adam Williams of the Colonels takes advantage of that moment to have a chat with his sophomore outfielder, Chris Morton. Adairsville with 3 runs on 3 hits, Cass with 2 runs on 3 hits. The Tigers have committed a pair of errors. The Colonels have committed an error as well. Cass batting in the top of the 6th, trailing by a run, 1 out in the inning. And he called that a strike. So a high strike called there, and the count is at 2-2. So now Coach Williams asking for a balk call on that play, but I believe the pitcher stepped off the rubber, stepped back off the rubber. So they were a little upset about the last pitch that was called a strike. And the next one misses for a ball. So the count has gone full now with 1 out in the inning. And Morton will step back in there to face Hunter Smith. And time is called at the plate. So a big spot here for Chris Morton. And he hits it sharply on the ground over the bag, and they're going to say foul. He's called it a foul ball. He's going to say that's a foul ball. He called it foul immediately. So there's going to be a discussion, but he called it a foul ball immediately, and everybody's going to have to go back to their places.
It went over the back, Pop. Come on, Blue. I know you're having trouble seeing, but come on. It's bad.
So all the runners will move back into their positions, and Morton will return to the plate.
You need to watch the replay on that one, man. That's all I can tell you.
So Adam Williams having a conversation with the home plate umpire. And the conversation is about that last batted ball by Chris Morton. It was very close, but the umpire called it a foul ball immediately. The Colonel fans are not happy about it, but we'll recycle and we'll see a full count pitch to Chris Morton. Runners at first and second, still 1 out in the inning. And Morton asks for time at the plate again. So lots of excitement here as Morton steps back in. And now we're ready. And that pitch missed low for a ball. So after all of that, the bases will now be loaded as Brandon Etheridge, the leadoff hitter for the Colonels, will step in there with 1 out. But it looks like Coach Eric Bishop is going to make his way for a pitching change. So the bases are loaded, 1 out in the inning, and we're going to get a pitching change, so we'll take a timeout and we'll be back to see who is in there right after this.
Con los terroristas.
And do the Harlem Shake.
Okay, we're back here. The new pitcher is going to be Dalton Whitten. They made some switches around again. I believe Hunter Smith will go back to right field and Dylan Cochran will move back over to left field. So we'll take just a moment to get everyone back in their places on our lineup card here as Whitten takes his warm-up tosses. So we're glad you're with us for Cass Baseball presented by Pepsi. Our other sponsor on these broadcasts, Liberty Tax Service. And we've got a good one brewing here up in Adairsville. The Tigers leading it 3-2. But the Colonels threatening here in the top of the 6th. They trail by a run, but they've loaded the bases with 1 out. And Chris Morton came very close to giving the Colonels a lead with that ground ball that was very close to being over the bag at first, but was called foul. Brandon Etheridge will step in now with the bases full and 1 out in the inning against a new pitcher. This is Dalton Whitten. Working from the stretch, and the first pitch misses inside for a ball. Neither side happy with this umpire's strike zone. And Etheridge takes a cut at a high fastball and missed it. So a fly ball deep enough here would tie it. And he hits a ground ball out toward first, and it's bobbled by the first baseman, and he's not going to get anybody. So McCrory missed the ground ball and did not recover in time to get anybody. Now, wait a minute. No one was tagged, and they're saying the batter was out. So this is a very strange play here. There was no throw, so it does not matter about him being inside the baseline. So I'm not sure what that umpire called, but the error will result in the tying run for the Colonels. So that was a bizarre call there, but it is going to result in Etheridge reaching first on the error and a run scoring.
Now batting for the Colonels, number 5, Sam Ayers.
So the Colonels have tied it here on another Tiger error. The score is 3-3, and Sam Ayers will step in there with 1 out. Whitten working from the stretch. Throws a breaking pitch that's fouled off by Ayers against the gear of Sherwood. Ayers steps back in there, and the senior shortstop will see an 0-1 pitch. And it bounced up there. Sherwood blocked it, kept it in front, and the count is now 1-1. So a big situation here for both clubs in a 3-3 game. And his fastball missed low. Again, Sherwood blocked it. And we'll see a 2-1 pitch. Whitten takes his sign and threw a breaking pitch that missed outside. So the count is run to 3-1. Chaz Wilson, the first baseman, waits on deck.
Hey, he's got to come here, buddy. He's got to come here now.
So in a 3-3 game, here's the 3-1 pitch. It's right through there for a strike at the knees. So a full count to the Colonel's shortstop as he awaits the 3-2 pitch, and he fouled it away over the first base dugout. And we'll try it again. Gore leads from third, Morton from second, and Etheridge from first as Sam Ayers battles against Dalton Whitten. And here's the 3-2 pitch, and he fouled it again. So the Adairsville error has extended the Colonel's inning. Would have probably scored a run there anyway to tie it, but they didn't get an out in the situation. But that breaking pitch just struck out Sam Ayers. So now there's 2 outs, and Chaz Wilson will step to the plate for the Colonels with the bases loaded. Cass batting in the top of the 6th in a 3-3 game at Adairsville. And the first pitch bounced up there for a ball. Wilson has a single in 3 at-bats. Drove in one of the Cass runs. And there's a fastball. He hits high in the air down the right field side. Everybody chasing it over there, and it's going to fall foul for a long, high strike. Second baseman in right field chased it over there, but it falls against the fence. And the count will be 1-1 as everyone returns to their bases and their defensive positions. So Wilson steps back in there. And the pitch is low for a ball. So the senior first baseman steps back in there. And we'll see a 2-1 pitch from Whitten that he fouled off again. Up near the parking lot this time. So we've got a big 2-2 pitch coming up with the bases loaded in a 3-3 contest. So we'll try it again, the 2-2 pitch from Whitten after he takes his sign. And Wilson hits it hard on the ground out to short, and the shortstop bobbled it and will not be able to make a play. So the Tigers have helped the Colonels twice here in the inning with another error.
Now batting for the Colonels, number 10, Dylan Williams.
So Cass has taken a lead, but the Tigers have helped, committing their third and fourth errors of the game in this inning. And that brings up Williams, who hits a fly ball out toward right field. Again, it's in that same spot and will fall foul as all the Tigers collect out there but can't field the foul ball. The second baseman, the first baseman, and the right fielder all chasing it, but it falls in the Bermuda Triangle out there. Foul for strike one. So Dylan Williams, who's 0 for 3 in this one, steps back in there. And that's a breaking ball that bounced. We've seen a lot of curveballs from Tiger pitchers in this one. Williams back in there to face Whitten, and a 1-1 pitch. And that was a fastball, but it was off the plate. So the count goes to 2-1. Alex Yoslin waits on deck for the Colonels. But that one sailed high for ball 3. So with Chris Morton at third, Brandon Etheridge at second, and Chaz Wilson down at first, we'll see a 3-1 pitch to Dylan Williams with 2 outs here in the 6th. He tipped it, but right into the glove of Sherwood for strike number 2. So now the runners should be moving on the pitch. It's 3-2 and 2 outs. And once he starts his delivery to the plate, the runners will be moving, and Williams fouled it off. Cass batting in the top of the 6th. They've taken the lead now, 4-3. Only 3 hits in the game for the Colonels. The Tigers have committed 4 errors. Adairsville with 3 runs on 3 hits. Cass has committed an error as well. So the Cass designated hitter steps back in there, and we'll try it again on a 3-2 pitch. Runners should be moving, and they are. And Williams took ball 4. Much to the dismay of the Tiger crowd, who wanted a called strike. So that'll bring up Alex Yoslin, the Cass left fielder.
Back to the Colonels, number 12, Alex Yoslin.
Cass now leading it 5-3. Bases still loaded. And the first pitch sails high. So now the catcher Sherwood wants to talk to his pitcher Whitten. So we have a timeout for just a moment. And now Yoslin will step back in there. Whitten working from the windup. And Yoslin fouled it into the glove of Sherwood for strike number 1. One pitch from Whitten. Is hit on the ground out towards second. Slow roller. Fielded by the second baseman, at least knocked down. Now they've got Wilson hung up at third, and they threw it away at the plate. And here comes another runner. Williams is going to try to score, and he'll score standing up. And now Yoslin has made it all the way to third. So now time is called, and the Colonels somehow came out of that with 3 runs on a couple of errors. And now we've got a player down for Adairsville, so there's a timeout on the field while we try to get that one scored. So the ground ball looked like out number 3, but it was an error out there by the second baseman, Adams. That allowed the batter, Yoslin, to reach. Then they had Wilson held up between, as he rounded third, they had him held up between home and third, but he scored on the throwing error by the third baseman, Knight. And then that allowed Williams to come all the way around and score on that same error. And meanwhile, Yoslin made it all the way around to third. So the Colonels have taken an 8-3 lead, if my calculations are correct. It was 5-3 with Yoslin at the plate, and all 3 base runners scored, so it should now be 8-3.
Huh? 8-3.
Should be 8-3. And who was the substitution, Coach?
29 for 13.
29 for 13. So Adairsville with a substitution down at third base. That will be Nathan Medlock entering the game.
Now batting for the Colonels, number 9, Sam Russell.
And Sam Russell will step to the plate. And he hits a ground ball past the third baseman, deep into the hole. It's short, and that's going to drive in a run with a single. So that will make it 9-3. And they still don't have, now they get it right.
For the Colonels, number 2, Hunter Southern.
For a moment, they didn't have that other run up on the scoreboard here. But that infield single drives in the 9th run for the Colonels. And they've opened this one up. Next pitch bounces up there. Runner takes off and will slide in safely. So Russell reaches second after the pitch bounced up there. I'm sorry, that's Caleb Black. And the next one gets away at the plate as well. So now the Colonels have a runner at third for Hunter Southern. So a 2-0 pitch upcoming to Southern. And it's a called strike at the letters. Austin Gore waits on deck for Cass. And Southern fouls it off on the next delivery. So a 2-2 pitch upcoming to the Cass third baseman. And he fouls it away. Cass will begin Region 7 Quad A South play next week with a 3-game series against the Gilmer Bobcats. They'll be at home on Tuesday and Friday. They will travel to Ellijay on Thursday We will try to carry all 3 of those games here on Play On Sports and GHSA.TV. Cass Baseball presented by Pepsi. Takes that one that bounced up there. So the count has gone full. Cass has opened it up here in their half of the 6th with a 9-3 lead now. Caleb Black, the courtesy runner for Sam Russell, taking a lead from third. And Southern hits a ground ball out toward third, fielded there, long throw across, picked up by the first baseman, and that will be out number 3. So Medlock fields it, throws across to McCrory, but the Colonels have taken a 9-3 lead as we go to the bottom of the 6th.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore. And love was made for me and you.
Back at Adairsville High School, Cass Baseball presented by Pepsi. Cass has taken a 9-3 lead here, and now Chaz Wilson will come in to pitch for the Colonels. Brandon Etheridge will move back out into center field, and Dylan Williams will come in to play first. So we're doing some scoring changes here. Please bear with us for just a moment. So the center fielder will be Brandon Etheridge. And Dylan Williams will be in there to play first. And the first pitch from Chaz Wilson is low for a ball. Next one is high. So the count is 2-0. Again misses. So 3-0 quickly. And that one's in there for a strike. So a 3-1 pitch upcoming from Wilson as he faces Dylan Cochran. And he missed inside and low for ball 4. So Caleb Black is in there at second base.
Up next for the Tigers, number 29, Nathan Medlock.
Still trying to get the lineup situated here. That'll bring up number 29. That is Medlock. And he looks at the first pitch for a strike. Next pitch is hit up in the air out toward right field. Morton is there, but he missed it off his glove. So we have another error.
Now batting for the Tigers, number 9, Hunter Smith.
So the fly ball out toward right field. Morton was there, but unable to bring it in. And the next hitter is Smith. First pitch is a strike. And a curveball is hit off Wilson out toward second base and out into right field. Caleb Black was moving to try to cover the base. It ricocheted off Wilson's leg and through the hole between second and first.
Up next for the Tigers, number 12, Casey McCrory.
So it is a hit and a single, and a run scores on the play. Smith moved over to third. And McCrory's up there. First pitch he swung on and missed. Scores now 9-4. With Wilson working from the stretch. Nobody out with runners on the corners. And that one's called low for a ball. Wilson working from the stretch, and he hit the batter. So now Adairsville has something brewing here in their half of the sixth inning.
Now batting for the Tigers, number 14, Dakota Hines.
Dakota Hines, the designated hitter, steps in with the bases loaded and nobody out. So trouble brewing here for the Colonels. Tigers trying to come back, down by 5. And Wilson fires a strike at the knees. And he got a barrel on that one and hit it into the right field corner. That's going to plate at least 2 as the throw comes in. And 2 more runs are in on that single to right field. He swung on it late, but put the barrel on it. It went right over the head of Dylan Williams out into right field, and 2 runs score.
Now batting for the Tigers.
McCrory did move to third on that play. So Adairsville has battled right back into this, now trailing by only 3, 9-6, and still nobody out with runners on the corners. The next one from Wilson is a changeup that's hit foul over third. So the Tigers are back at the top of their order with Kyle Adams, their senior second baseman, facing Chaz Wilson. Nobody out here in the top, bottom of the 6th in a 9-6 ball game. He squares the bunt, and it's bunted foul. At the plate, Sam Russell fielded it and tagged McCrory, who was coming home, but the ball was foul. So an 0-2 pitch now, upcoming from Wilson. Runners on the corners. Still nobody out. Curveball sailed high. So Adams looks down at Coach Bishop for a sign. Wilson looks into his catcher, Russell, for a sign. And here's the pitch. It's swung on and fouled at the plate. So everyone will try again here. A 1-2 pitch from Wilson. It's bunted again. This time it's bunted foul. And it was kicked by the batter, so he will be out, and the base runner will have to return to third. So that will be a strikeout on the bunt attempt.
Up next for the Tigers, number 6, Tyler Washington.
So now 1 out in the inning, still runners on the corners, and Washington steps to the plate. He's reached base every time, and he's hit a line drive out to right field for another hit. But they get the runner trying to score. So the runner, the base runner, McCrory, held up. He didn't know if Morton was going to catch that line drive or not. And when it fell in front of Morton for a hit, McCrory took off. Morton fielded it through home to Sam Russell, who tagged him out on a bang-bang play at the plate. So now there's 2 outs.
Next for the Tigers, number 8, Zach.
So it was a hit out into right field. But as I mentioned, it was hard to tell if Morton was going to catch it or not. And then Morton threw him out at the plate. So now 1-1 to Sherwood, and he hits a ground ball foul. So a 1-2 pitch upcoming to Zach Sherwood, and it's hit in the air out there toward Morton again. He's going back. And he makes the catch for out number 3. A diving catch out there in right field by Chris Morton. That ball just kept sailing and kept traveling, but Morton chased it down for out number 3. But Adairsville has narrowed the Cass lead to 9-6 as we go to the 7th inning.
Come on, kid. I'm Drew Brees.
And I'm Harry.
Who?
From One Direction. Platinum album.
Dudes, won the Super Bowl.
On the cover.
MVP.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
If you give him the Pepsi, you can be in the band.
Really?
And live while we're young.
All right, the new pitcher for the Tigers will be Kyle Adams. He will come in to work here in the top of the 7th. Colonels will be sending Caleb Black to the plate. Followed by Chris Morton, and then the top of the order. So Adams out there taking a few warm-up tosses. We'll remind you that our next broadcast will be next Tuesday, a 5:40 pregame for a 5:55 start, as the Colonels will be hosting the Gilmer Bobcats in their first sub-region game of the year. Throw down to second. We're just about ready to start action here in the top of the seventh. Caleb Black will step in there. He's now playing second base for the Colonels.
Now batting for the Colonels, number 3, Caleb Black.
Let's go, Caleb. Come on, 3. Get your hit, buddy. Get your hit right, 3.
So the first pitch from Adams is a called strike. So it's 9-6 as the Colonels bat here in the top of the seventh. And the next one is fouled away. So Black is quickly in an 0-2 hole. Next one bounced up there. So Adams looks in for his sign. And his fastball sailed high. So a 2-2 pitch coming up. And it's a curveball that just stayed inside for ball number 3. So full count now, and Caleb Black steps in and fouls it away. Glad you could join us tonight for Colonels baseball. Cass leading Adairsville by a score of 9-6. Colonels baseball this year brought to you by Pepsi. And the next pitch from Adams is a curveball called over the inside corner for strike number 3. So that will bring up Chris Morton.
Up next for the Colonels, number 1, Chris Morton.
Morton has flied to center, been hit by a pitch, and walked. And the first pitch he sees from Adams is a strike at the knees. Swung on and missed. So Morton now down to 0-2, steps back in. And a curveball is over the inside corner for strike number 3. So 2 quick outs, and Brandon Etheridge will make his way to the plate. He was the starting pitcher in this one and went 5 innings. Left the game with a 9-3 lead. The Tigers scored 3 runs off Wilson in the 6th. Curveball swung on and missed. Sam Ayers waits on deck if Etheridge can reach. Slow curve this time is called a strike. So we've seen 3 Tigers pitchers in this one and lots of curveballs. There's a fastball, though, that Etheridge could not catch up with. Swings on and misses, and that is strike number 3 and out number 3 for the Colonels in their half of the seventh. We will go to the bottom of the 7th with Cass leading Adairsville 9-6. Okay, the Colonels take the field here in the bottom of the 7th. Chaz Wilson still on the mound for the Colonels, who lead it here 9-6, with the Tigers coming up in their half of the final inning, what would be the final inning if the Colonels can retire them.
Leading off for the Tigers, number 7, Tristan Smith.
Cleanup hitter Tristan Smith, followed by Dylan Cochran, the left fielder, and Hunter Smith in the bottom of the 7th. Facing Chaz Wilson, who missed low. And there's a fastball strike at the knees. Three hits and a walk off Chaz Wilson. He did strike out one. And there's another strike. So the 1-2 pitch from the Cass senior. It's hit on the ground out towards second. Caleb Black fields it, scoops it up, throws it over to Dylan Williams, and there's out number 1.
Up next for the Tigers, number 32, Dylan Cochran.
So 1 out, and that brings up Dylan Cochran, who has one really good diving catch to his credit in this one when he was playing over in right field. Wilson's curveball is in there for a strike. Another curveball right through there for a strike. 2 good breaking pitches. So we'll see what he does with the 0-2 pitch. He went down and away, and Cochran fouled it off. So Wilson looks back in, takes his sign, winds and delivers, and it's fouled off again at the plate. So Wilson working quickly, throws another curveball that stayed up and in. The count's at 1-2. There's a curveball hit on the ground out towards Sam Ayers. He fields it, throws across, and in time for the out. So a good play by Ayers to charge and get that ground ball. Slow roller out there that he fielded cleanly and throws across for out number 2. And that will bring up number 29. That is Medlock, who takes the first pitch for a ball. And there's a strike at the knees. So 2 outs in the inning. Adairsville batting here in the bottom of the 7th. They trail by 3, 9-6. And Wilson's fastball is over the outside corner. So the count is now 1-2 with 2 outs in the inning. And the changeup bounced up there. So the count is now even at 2-2. Two outs in the inning. And there's a line drive hit out toward left field. And under the glove of Yoslin. It's going to be in for at least a double. And he will hold there. Yoslin came in to try to make a shoestring catch there and missed it. It went all the way to the wall. So it's a double for Medlock, and Whitten will step in. I'm sorry, that's number 9. That's Hunter Smith. First pitch to Smith, missed high for a ball. So Wilson working from the stretch now with a runner down at second. He throws a fastball that is low for ball 2. Two-0 pitch from Wilson, hit on the ground out towards Sam Ayers. He fields it, throws across. There's out number 3, and that will be your ball game. So the Tigers failed to score in their half of the 7th. They did have a hit, the double out to left field. And your final score tonight will be the Cass Colonels 9 and the Adairsville Tigers 6. We'll be back to wrap things up right after these messages.
Senor!
Attention everyone, our first toast!
No. I am so honored to say a few words about the lovely can. I mean the couple. You look so delicious. In love. Too many more years.
Do we know her?
No.
Diet Pepsi. Love every sip.
Okay, so the Cass Colonels win it by a final score of 9-6. Only 4 hits on the evening. They were assisted by at least 6 Adairsville errors in that one. And the Colonels do come back and hang on for a 9-6 win here over the Adairsville Tigers. We're glad you could join us for Cass Baseball presented by Pepsi. Again, a reminder, our next telecast will be next Tuesday from Cass High School as the Colonels take on the Gilmer Bobcats in their first sub-region game of the 2013 campaign. Again, thank you for joining us tonight. We want to thank our sponsors, Pepsi and Liberty Tax Service. We'll see you again next Tuesday. The Colonels are winners here tonight. They moved to 6-4 on the year with a 9-6 win over Adairsville. Good evening, everyone.